everyone, it's Ava here. Welcome to a game project I'm actually gonna try to stick with. I think I got in over my head with My Sims, and also I realized that the project would get very boring if I showed off everything like I initially planned to, because that game is a relatively boring grind. I just lost motivation for it. So instead, I am structuring this project a little bit differently, and I'm going to be playing a game that I absolutely adore even more than My Sims. It's a game I have a lot of history and knowledge with, and so I figured it would be the perfect game project to launch into. This is going to be my playthrough of Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. This is a remake of a game that I cannot overstate how much it means to me, a game from my youth. The original Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, and Another Wonderful Life are my favorite old farming sims, like pre-Stardew Valley days. Definitely one of the best Harvest Moon games specifically out there. I have so much love in my heart for this game. I actually owned it on the PS2 with a special edition copy of it, and it was just as awful as everyone says that version is, but I still played it to death. And I've played a lot of this remake too, so much so that I am now here to do a game project on it. And I'm going to be taking this very seriously. I've got notes and spreadsheets and determination in my heart. I want to show off as much of the game as I possibly can to you guys in the 6 years of story we're going to be experiencing. So during that time, I want to see if I can accomplish everything the game has to offer. I want to befriend everyone, cook every meal, complete as much of the encyclopedia as I can, do every request. I'm really gonna go hard on this. Now, if I miss something throughout this project or don't get to it until the post-game, please forgive me. I'm still trying to get the hang of doing long-term game projects, and I may have a lot of institutional knowledge of this game, but as things progress and as I have more to worry about, things might slip through the cracks. I'm also going to be structuring this to show less and less of the gameplay as we move forward, because admittedly the game does get pretty boring after the halfway mark. So I'm going to show you most days from my first year, and then starting in year 2 and on, I will be showing less days. I'll be recording almost everything, but I'll be actually commentating through less of it. I'll just do updates once or twice a month, starting in maybe year 3, just to show you guys more all at once instead of showing you the boring tedium of everyday life. Finally, I will be doing post-commentary for this playthrough, because narrating live is really difficult for me, I have learned. I will do in real life check-ins at the beginning of every session I'm recording, just to show you guys what's up with me and what my goals are then. And yeah, I think I've yapped enough about how this project is gonna work, so without further ado, remember to subscribe if you want to keep up with this project. I hope to keep it going for a pretty decent amount of time, but we'll see. Now I'm gonna bring it over to Live Ava starting the game. Hi everyone, it's your girl Ava here, welcoming you all to my new project. This is Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. I'm playing this on my PS5 for reference, and oh my god, I'm so excited to start into this game. This game means so much to me, it's kind of crazy. This is a fantastic remake of an original game that was on the GameCube. I've played so much of the original, all 3 versions of it, and this remake in full on my PC when it came out. So as we go through the game, I will be talking a little bit about everything I'm trying to accomplish, things I want to show off, important mechanics, all that sort of stuff. But most of this project is going to be edited down with added post-commentary so we can kind of streamline the recording process a little bit, and hopefully be able to stick with this project a bit more easily than previous attempts I've made at doing a game project. We'll see though. So I think with all of that yapping out of the way, I'm going to turn the mic off. I will check in with little things here and there if anything interesting crops up, and I am going to click New Game. Okay, welcome to A Wonderful Life, everyone. I am very excited to be getting into gameplay here, and this is officially post-commentary Ava taking over. So, as the text appearing on screen will tell you, this whole journey started with a letter addressed to a man named Takakura that used to run a farm with our father back in a place called Forgotten Valley. We happen to be the one that wrote the letter, and now we will be the one put in charge of our father's farm. But before we get there, we do need to make our character. This character customizer is actually new to the remake, and it even has some cool options like making your character non-binary, lots of fun hair options, we'll unlock outfits later too. You can marry anyone in this game regardless of gender, so at the end of the day what you choose here doesn't really matter. We'll also be able to customize certain parts of our appearance after we get into the game. But this is the character I designed, and I'm just gonna name her Ava. And here we are, entering the valley with Takakura, and he's gonna walk us through the facilities on the farm for a bit here after we agree to work the land. Of course we're going to say yes. I'll let him explain most of the facilities, but most of them are pretty self-explanatory. The main difference you might notice between this version and the original version of the game is the shipping box and ledger have been moved to outside the farm as opposed to being behind in our loading screen in another building. And the game has added a little reward box next to the house, which is mainly linked to achievements and receiving gifts from other people in the valley. Everything else is basically the same. We also don't get the amazing field right away. We'll have to unlock that later. So while showing us around the farm, we will eventually get introduced to two puppies. And we can choose to keep one of them as a pet. We can choose between the pointy-eared pup and the floppy-eared one. I believe in floppy ear supremacy, so I choose that one, and I decide to name him Mustard. Takakura is going to take us through a couple more places on the farm, mainly our house and his. And then he's going to take us into the barn. And wow, that Takakura is a good dude. I think we're gonna get along great with him because he majorly hooks us up and we get a free cow out of this deal. It's a normal female cow who recently gave birth, so she should be able to give us milk. I like trying to stick with specific themes for my animal names, so let's do a cheese theme for the cows and let's name her Baby Bell. Because that's a cute name, right? Cute name for a cute cow. After we leave the barn, Takakura is going to ask us to name the farm itself. I'm going with Kokoto Farm, loosely named after the village in the original Monster Hunter game on the PS2. Takakura is then going to ask if we want to meet the rest of the villagers before we start working the farm. I'm of course going to agree to this, even though I already know everyone. It's a good way for you guys to meet everyone in town. So, let's meet the villagers. So with that, we have met everyone in the village. Before letting us rest, Takakura gives us his camera for taking in-game photos. I honestly rarely use this item, but it's good to have regardless. It might be good for thumbnails. Who knows? Finally, before we can go to bed for the night, we start getting spoken to by the nature sprites. A little weird, I know. We didn't even take drugs and we're already seeing strange little guys. But they seem nice, so they'll be our friends throughout the game regardless. They introduce themselves. And with that, we are ready to start Chapter 1, Beginnings. And with that whole intro out of the way, I will end this first episode here. We're going to launch into explanations starting in the next episode as we begin the game. Because yeah, as soon as we get started with the game, we will have things to do. So thank you all for watching this brief introduction to Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life, and I will see you all in the first official episode. See you then.